Okay, happy Thursday. Coaches, leaders, speakers, y'all already know what we've been on for this week, right? Which is us talking about our communities and talking about our groups. So I got a couple of questions that I want to go through, and I want to talk about a season in my business when I had when you're posting and doing all of the things and no one is buying. And last year there was really a knee deep season for me in my business. So I want to talk about it, and I want to talk about what I did to get out of that. So I just went live on Instagram. Let me go live on Facebook right quick. And then we're also live on TikTok. And then we're going to get into it. Oops. Maybe it's working just fine. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to edit this on Facebook, y'all, because it's only got my stuff set to friends instead of to public. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know what's doing this. Okay. Oh well. Okay. It says it's only available. It's not available to the public, only to my friends. But we're still on Instagram and TikTok, so we're gonna go with it. So happy Thursday. Let's get into it today. What do you do when no one buys your offer? What do you do when you post about your offer and no one buys? Drop your business down in the comments. Let me know what type of business you have. So this week on the show, we've really been talking to like the coaches, so the business coaches, the marketing coaches, people that sell community services, learning and education, right? The life coaches. Shout out to Nikki. I think I see you watching on Instagram. Um, so a lot of us, really dedicate ourselves to creating content that's inspiring, that's educational. We chopping up reels. We trying to find out what you like, what you don't like, and you do all of those things, and then still no one buys, right? So what do you do? So I feel like I found myself in kind of the worst of this because I was doing a whole bunch of content. And you be doing content that feel really good, but also I wasn't understanding the fact that I was marketing the business, but I wasn't actually selling the business. I mean, looking back, it just seemed like a no-brainer, but at that time, I really didn't get that. I really didn't understand. I thought marketing did the selling. I didn't think that it was separate from selling. I didn't understand that. And so even when I get ladies that are coming into my community now, I feel like a lot of them are in that season too, where they're kind of uncovering the fact that all the content and marketing and stuff that I do is 100% separate from actually selling it, right? And so y'all know, I give this example often, right? About if you sent two people, if you sent two salesmen into a subdivision, right? And one of them sat on the corner and his idea was to market the business, right? I'm going to put up flyers all over the neighborhood. I got my pretty table up front. I've got a website. I've got all the stuff that if they need me. But for the duration of the day, after he markets with all of his branding and stuff, he goes and sits at his table and waits, which is the equivalent to what I was doing. I was marketing my business, but when it came time to sell or do anything, I was basically waiting, right? Refreshing my screen and waiting for the people to come because the marketing is so cheap. Okay, let's be for real. And what the other salesman did, he did all of the marketing too. But instead of spending the rest of the day sitting at the table, he actually got up and started walking through the neighborhood and knocking on each person's door. And so that's a very metaphoric way for me to have that aha moment where I'm like, oh, I wasn't selling, I wasn't asking anybody, right? And one of the coaches that I had, she told me this years ago, she was like, this is really dope, but it's really just a social media page. Like, is there a way that you get up and go and knock on doors that's not just dependent on you doing a cartwheel on TikTok, basically? You know what I'm saying? So, Nakia says on Instagram, she said, I'm just learning this. I feel you, honey. I feel you. But it's something that once you see it, you can't unsee it. Okay. And the discouraging part is, I talked about this on the show the other day, how when you have a business, it's like when you climb up one ladder, you're like, "Ooh, child, I get it now. Now I see what the coaches be talking about. I get it." You realize you're at the bottom of another ladder, right? So a lot of us are finding ourselves, so we've climbed the ladder of, I can show up online. My consistency BT sometimes it don't. But the concept of showing up online and putting out content, I get it. Okay. But now we're at the bottom of another ladder where we're like, wow, I've actually got to sell this stuff too. Okay. So that's really what we're diving into today on the show. I want to kind of talk about some of the stuff that I did, some actionable stuff that you can literally get off of this live and do. And then y'all know tonight we're actually having the community building mastermind. So we've already got a group of us, coaches, leaders, and speakers. We've got life coaches. We have so Nikia's a life coach. Sharnice is an esthetician coach looking to teach women. Robin is a podcasting coach. I think we got Sade in there who's actually in the cosmetology space. So she's looking to coach women too. So there's a group of us that are forming for the mastermind. Honey, you can still register. We don't start until tonight. I think the registration may just cut off only like an hour before we start, just so we can get you in a group chat. You can get your notes. You can get access to the video that I've already given them about how to get their first 30 members. So you can access all of that. Okay. If you want to register any platform you're on, click on the link in the bio and you'll be able to see the registration link. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. So I had this season and this problem in my business and didn't even realize it. Okay. So let me tell you about kind of the first thing that I started to do, which was I had that moment where I had to be real about the fact that I was running away from my numbers instead of running into them. And I know that there are many times where I felt like my business wasn't big enough, large enough, or even had enough customers to be keeping track of numbers. I was like, why are you telling me to keep track of numbers and I need customers? Like, that don't make sense. But what I had to realize was going after the numbers was how I got the customers. And so I was working with a business coach, even when I was working with the program that I did with Chase. And he was just asking me about, like, he was not interested in my social media, y'all. He was asking about my business. And I was like, well, he was not interested. And so the concept really started being birthed in me that I don't go after business. I don't go after opportunity. I market and I sit and wait for it to come to me. Which now I understand was me trying, and doing what I knew at the time, but it wasn't really me doing business, which is why deep down, I feel like I had a business, but I knew something was missing. So now in this season, what I really shifted into was every day I wake up and I say, okay, how many people do we need to go tell about Conquer? How many people know about Conquer, but they're not buying anything from Conquer right now? Right? Who needs to know? Who's got a friend or a group of people that need to know about this? And so I had to, again, start going after the numbers, right? Instead of running away from them. And then starting allowing my business to tell me what people respond to and taking my emotion and thoughts and guessing out of it. And so now I'm learning that if I reach out to 100 people, 15 of them make it. Okay. So now the next time I do outreach, I'm not bummed out when 13 people tell me no back to back. I just know that there are 13 that's going to be part of this, whatever, that's going to tell me no. Because I know that if I keep going, my yeses are coming. Okay. So again, if we are doing things like really staying consistent, but nobody is buying, nobody is coming, my big question for you would be, who are you asking? And that has been a major question that I have been challenging the coaches to think about. I know you're the best. I know you're talented. I know you change lives 101, right? But that next level, that next ladder comes with you putting yourself on. Okay. So if you're posting and you're being really consistent, I love it for you. But are you actually selling? Okay. So when you think about your sales for the week, I know for me, I'm telling you, in hindsight, it's like it's a no-brainer. But at the time, I just really wasn't thinking that way. When I thought about creating my sales goal for the week, I thought that meant if I want 10 people to join, that means I need to go live every day, twice a day, and do 8 content. Like I thought the more people I needed, the more content I needed to push because that'll reach more people would find me, more people would buy, and boom, I'm rich. Formula figured out. That's what I thought. So I again was combining my marketing with my what I thought was selling, and then realized that they were two separate things. Okay, so the marketing is okay, you do the content, you do 8 times a day, 8 times a week, 8 times a month, whatever, right? Whatever that looks like. But selling, I mean, you have to start with a blank sheet of paper and say, well, once I put all of that content out, then what? And that's where your sales plan and your sales strategy starts. Mompreneur Podcast says that's good. Thank you, girl. I'm up here looking at this camera kind of zoned out over here, girl. I ain't got my Red Bull friend. Talking to the Red Bull, send me a case. So she said that's good. Thank you, honey. But yeah, so I didn't realize. So wherever your content plan ends, that's where your sales strategy begins. And if that part is a blank for you, then that's exactly what we're gonna do under the mastermind tonight. I know for a fact if you once you leave the mastermind tonight, you'll be able to go and find 50 of your ideal customers literally within an hour of hanging up the Zoom call if you stay the whole time, because I'm gonna show y'all the whole thing. I've already got the notes and everything, so it's gonna be a no-brainer. It's just a matter of being able to execute it on a regular basis, which is why I've been talking a lot about routines and ask you, what do you want to do? What do you do day to day? What do you do week to week in your business? Because if it's wildly different week to week, then this won't work for you. Okay, we've got to be able to start putting some structure to some of the stuff that we're doing. That way we can gain some momentum and leave a lot of space for creativity and vision still. So I get it. So this is LOL, girl. Yes. Okay. So let's dive into it just high level, right? I think that once you start that selling part, once the marketing ends, right? You put out the content, you plan all of the lives, you respond to the comments, which God bless y'all if I respond to a comment because good job. But you do all of that. Once you do all of that, your sales strategy begins. So, okay, Deb, how do I do that? Where do I start? It doesn't have to be anything complicated. And this is how they link together. So let's say, for example, if I go live, right? Y'all know I do a live show 5 days a week. For me and my business, this is a lead generator, okay? This is a marketing tool for the sales strategy. So let's say if somebody new comes to the live and they're like, wow, this is really good info, or this is my first time here, or whatever. What the live stream was a marketing tool, but now I'm using it to transition over to the sales strategy. So now I reach out to her, hey, so glad you joined. You know, what interested you, or what's going on in your business, or are you looking to join a community? You want to come to the mastermind, right? So then I say, well, for every live stream we have, if somebody new joins, we start a lead nurture process with them. We ask them to book a call. That's part of the sales strategy. Another part of the sales strategy can be we go into we have our own Facebook group. We're going to have a free 3-day challenge, and people that sign up for the challenge, we're going to ask them to book a call. That's the part of our sales strategy. We're going to host a webinar. We're going to get 100 people. We're going to try to 10 to join. That's the sales strategy. Like alongside from the content, what are the things that you're going to do to make sure the customers know it's time to come into your world and you go and pull them into you? So we're going to dive into, I have a framework that I use inside of Conquer, and I'm going to share it on the mastermind tonight. I'm going to share the sales framework for it, and I'm going to break it down based on how many members you want and how much money you want to make, which is basically how much time you want to dedicate to it. Okay. I dedicate a lot of time to the Conquer Club. It is my main baby, my main offer, my main thing. So if you want to make your offer your main thing, but still leave space for one-on-ones, I'm going to show you what the numbers look like, okay? And you are going to be blown away, girl. You're going to be blown away. It's going to be so good tonight, okay? It's going to be really good. And again, the reason why I'm doing this is because I know it's a lot of coaches where you are already consistent. You already got clients. You already got one-on-ones. But you're like, it's time for me to layer in some type of group thing to it, but I'm just trying to get that up and see how it's going to go. So that's what we're going to dive into. Okay. All right, so let's go to our next question here, friend. How do you get people to subscribe or join your paid groups? This is a really great question. How do you get people to subscribe or join into your paid groups? Friend, I'm going to be teaching this framework in the mastermind tonight. And I think that the number one way for you to get people to join your paid communities, your paid groups, I've tried monthly, low ticket, high ticket, one-on-ones, in and out. I'm going to tell you. And that is this theory that I have around you being able to pre-coach your audience. Okay? Pre-coach your audience. Let me tell you what I mean by that concept. If you're pre-coaching your audience, a very messy way to say it would be, if I look even at your socials right now, if I scrolled about 3 times, about 3 thumbs, can I tell you a coach? Can I tell you educate people for a living and we're going to learn from you, period. Give me about 3 thumbs. If you're not pre-coaching your audience, right? If your idea of consistency is just a little 1-2, you're not immersed into, if people aren't already in the comments saying, thank you, coach, you're not pre-coaching people. And I feel like that this is such an important and overlooked part of the sales process when you're looking to elevate who you are in the marketplace, because that's all we're really doing. You're just kind of elevating that girl in the marketplace. You need to start pre-coaching your audience. Okay? So pre-coaching, make them already feel like you're their coach. So do you have a little summer series or something going on? Do you got, a little portal where I can go in and get a free little courses? Like, do you already feel like the person that I want to learn from? Or do you want to take me from 0 to literally 100 with you? Right? My thought process with this is you got to think for the consumer. If you make the path feel natural and the next step not feel like some mountain, people are going to constantly go through your funnel. Okay. But if I got to go from literally following you to paying you $5,000 for a coaching offer, baby, whatever you putting out better be tea for real. And that may be the gap that some people are experiencing. I don't know, maybe not. But pre-coach me. What do some of those things look like? Hosting your webinars, hosting your events. Stop being scary, right? Putting together your podcast, being on somebody else's podcast, putting out the PDFs, putting out the resources. Hey, ladies, it may be only 5 of y'all, but we're doing a summer series on XYZ. Come join me on Zoom next week. Cash out me $5. It's free. Like whatever, to be able to start to pre-coach them. This is such an important part of your sales process, and it's going to be an important part of you being able to easily DM them after and say, girl, let's keep going with this. She said, what's a good portal to use as a coach? I'm going to go to that. She said, hashtag stop being scary. Okay, for real. So when you start, have y'all ever found somebody online and you just look at their page, you just know that they teach something, they coach somebody. That's going to be a part of it for you. If you want to transition into paid groups and paid subscriptions, make sure that you've already passed the phase where you're pre-coaching, where people in the audience are like, thank you, coach. And you like, now you ain't never even booked a consultation in the comments talking about coach, but that's cute now. Okay. So, and then once you do that, once you start pre-coaching, the next natural step to come join your membership is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. No-brainer. This is why I'm not against your free Facebook groups doing a little free 2-day challenge. I'm not mad at none of that. Easy ways for you to pre-coach people. Easy ways. The fitness people. Oh my God. If you're not doing a little 5-day belly buster challenge every other week, mind blowing. Easy way for you to start pre-coaching people and see what it's like to be in your world. Okay, these are easy, free ways. You ain't got to spend no money. You got to do a whole bunch of stuff. Go on Fiverr, get you a little flyer, do your little challenge, and start pre-coaching. These are easy ways to help people become like the founding members of your paid spaces. Okay, what do y'all think about that? You can do that for sure. So somebody asked, and I want to go back to it. About what's the best portal to use as a coach? Is that what you said? So when you say portal, I'm assuming that you meaning some type of home for the community. Now I tried too. Okay, like I had the free Facebook group. That's cool. That's easy. It's free. It's low lift. You can set it up today, no problem. Another one that I've used has been Mighty Networks. It is more on the pricier side for sure, but they have everything you need. I went on Fiverr and I had somebody set mine up to where when people want to join my community, they click the link and they literally check out like in the App Store. Okay. And they sign up and it just comes monthly out of their account, almost like how, you know, the monthly Apple subscriptions we got. That's how my community would come out of their account through Mighty Networks. And I just had somebody in wherever set it up for me on Fiverr. You can do the subscriptions like that on Mighty Networks. You can go live on Mighty Networks. So if you have a community, you want to go live in there, you can go live in there. You can have it where they set up like a trial. So if they want to try it free for like 5 days or like 7 days, and then Apple charges them or Android charges them, you can do that in Mighty Networks. You can have like, you can set up virtual events in Mighty Networks. You can set up the actual website for the membership in Mighty Networks. They got a lot of cool features. And then your members can come, it'll send them their login information. They can come log in and see the chat, see you go live, see your events. My group loved the fact that I can put like a whole bunch of PDFs and resources. So I had all of that stuff linked in there. My Amazon store, I had linked in there. So if they want to go live, I've got all the stuff linked to my Amazon store. On the stuff I recommend, like the lights I use, I had them in there. So, and then you can do it where it's free, but certain parts are paid. So let's say you have like a general community, but you have like a VIP part. When they want to upgrade to VIP, like it was T. But again, it's a little bit on the pricier side. And because it is so many features, it becomes a lot of work to do. She said Mighty Networks or Circle, Mighty Networks. So the more, like, it's got a lot of features, but that turned into a lot of stuff that I had to do to keep it up, which is cool. But now I've moved my community over to Patreon. Patreon is free for me as the user. I can still post all of my resources. So I can still post my videos. They can still pay for different upgrades and stuff. So I'm loving Patreon. I put out a survey to my Conquer Club, and one person did say that they just did not like the Patreon app. So I'm going to continue to listen to them more about it and see what they think. But those are the two that I have used, Mighty Networks and Patreon. So they're easy. But I would just start off with something that's less expensive. And then as your business and your community grows, then of course, shoot, you let that bad boy pay for itself. Oh my God, y'all. I thought I have no comments. StreamYard ain't showing my comments, and y'all ain't even realize y'all was paying. Comment on Facebook, child. I'm sorry. Hey, babe, my husband always be over here. Hey, Rashana, I'm so sorry, child. I'll just be over here talking. So, okay. Yeah, so that was a good one. So that's one home, those are the two that I've used before. And then another big part of my business, and y'all know I got to shout them out, which is Monday.com. I use my Monday.com every day. And so all of the people so coaches, like if you have a community or if you have one-on-one, I have like all of the members of my community, like what day did they join? How much did they pay? I have like a spot for notes, and then I also have at my Monday.com board like so much stuff I keep in my Monday board. But for my community, I also keep up like with our Tuesday calls. What's gonna be the date of the call? I plan it out ahead of time, like what's gonna be the date, what's gonna be the topic, Have I sent them an email reminder? And have I sent them an email invite? So those are like easy routines that I build for myself. I know every week I need to set the topic, set the date. Well, it's the same day and time. So set the topic, send them a calendar invite, send them a reminder. Like just same thing week to week. Every week I need to check, okay, who's here, who's new, who needs an onboarding call, who's time for an upgrade, who's been quiet. So just so I can keep a bird's eye view over what's going on, because what you don't want to do is create some type of community or paid space because you think that this is the type of thing that can run itself. Like seriously, this is not the type of thing that can run itself. I spend more time, like everybody in the Conquer Club, like if you missed a couple of calls, I'm reaching out. If you just joined and maybe you missed the first call, you got to reach out. Like those are all of the type of things that you have to do as a host and as a leader once you start doing group. Okay. Group is more complex in the way that I didn't think about. I think group meant, shoot, I'm a group coach. What you talking about? But now I'm coaching and also kind of being like the principal. You know what I'm saying? Like you're coaching, plus you've got to like curate the space, create the space, protect the space. If people ain't engaging, you got to re-engage. Over the Christmas holiday break, girl, they wasn't coming to them Tuesday calls. They was like, Conquer Club sounds great, but I'm with my cousins and we're getting drunk tonight because we're out of town and I'll see y'all. I was like, okay. But still I kept the Tuesday night calls no matter what. So just keeping that cadence, like you've really got to ebb and flow with your space, and you can't think that just because you build it and it's so good and so resourceful and you're so talented and you're so great on Zoom, blah, 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 that people are just going to stick around. That's really only part of it for sure. It definitely is only part of it for sure. So that's why those platforms and stuff are really good. But it's also good for you to have some type of separate routine or cadence that you have so that you can quickly engage people that aren't engaged. You can quickly see when somebody just joined a community and maybe she wasn't a good fit because you was desperate for the money, or you can see when somebody's quiet and they hate it, or quiet because they need deeper support, or people that are engaging every week. How can you pull them in closer? Because now it seems like, shoot, they could leave the call without you, so like there are a lot of different reasons why you need to be probably closer to your community than we may be thinking about, that are going to be the very things that make it great. Because when I built my community at first, baby, put that Mighty Networks together. Okay, put them Zoom calls together. And I was, girl, you can schedule out the content in there and everything, spoil me. And that was the worst thing for me because it was way too disconnected. Way too disconnected. And the reasons why our clients love us one-on-one is because they get to feel seen, heard, and validated. Okay. Shout out to Michelle. What's up? Welcome in, honey. Michelle says, good morning. My name is Michelle of EB Square Production. Let us know more about EB Square Production, honey. What is that? Tell us more, please. What is that, honey? We want to know. So, yeah. But that's just stuff I wasn't thinking about when I created my community, child. I'm thinking, you want to learn from me and you want to run that debit or credit card every month? I can put your card on auto pay. Girl, come on. Shoot. And I'm telling you, I experienced the group not being engaging at all. And I've also experienced too in my community where every single person left. Every single person left. And that was the exact same season where I was so detached. I thought because I was scheduling posts, I had all these classes in here, all these resources. You could come in here and, baby, too much info, so much good info. Worst decision. Now I do the classroom and cookout theory, which I'm going to be talking about tonight inside the mastermind, which is now I do a combination of 30% classroom activity and 70% cookout activity. which means that 30% of the way that I'm hosting the group and doing the space is me in coach mode, right? Coach Deb giving you the tips, telling you, no, tweak this, add this to your sales strategy, no, do this to your content. That's 30% of the way that I interact with them. But the other 70% is mindset work. It's collaborations. It's, oh, well, tell me about what's going on with you. Give me an update on this. Oh, what happened when you went to that guy on Fiverr? How did it work out? Oh, well, y'all want to collaborate? Let's talk. That's 70% of it. So it's the classroom and cookout theory. And if this sounds resonating with you, we're going to go deep into it, into the mastermind, and you'll be able to build this for yourself by the time you leave the call, where it's 30% classroom and 70% cookout. It is the perfect mixture to not overwhelm your people with information and resources and deadlines and homework and this feeling like Harvard University. Like, be for real. This group with $3 and this is a Harvard University curriculum. No, ma'am. Okay. But it's just enough information to keep them underneath you as a leader and somebody that they trust and where they can transform. But it's 70% them getting their questions out, their situation being seen and heard and understood, and them collaborating amongst each other, them networking amongst each other, them being recognized amongst each other. Okay. It is the perfect mixture for you to create something so explosive that is going to change the way that your clients interact with you forever. It is going to change the way that you view business. It's going to change the way that you even look at one-on-ones. I promise you. It's going to change it. And y'all know the best thing about having these spaces like this? Michelle says, I'll do beauty and barber brunches. Baby, wow. A beauty brunch or a barber brunch? That sounds awesome. Y'all be having some good ideas. Michelle, can you drop the link or something? I'm going to have to make sure I check that out. That's really dope. I don't know if I can think of anybody off the top of my head that could use that, but honey, that sounds amazing, friend. We would love to know more. What city are you based out of? That sounds like some Atlanta stuff. Baby, Atlanta is the innovator of, well, for real, but probably not. I'm just being silly. But yes, I know I was about to say too, I don't want to lose my train of thought here, is another reason why I'm so glad for the coaches and leaders and speakers that are coming to the mastermind tonight, where we're going to be talking about groups, is the fact that when people say, well, I don't want to take on one for my one-on-ones because I can charge, good enough for them and I'm really good at them and I haven't even grasped how to get them. The group is an even better way to get a one-on-one, because once people are actually in your group and actually in your world, and you say, hey, they be like, man, this group is so awesome. I want more. This is when you get to the point in your business where your coaching offers are not you trying to convince people. They become what I call happy sales. Like when you buy something that you love, like when I have a wig in my cart, it's $400 and I get my $400, I'm like, yes, I cannot wait to click to purchase. It's a happy sale, right? Or when I want to go upgrade my phone, or, that coach I've really been wanting to work with, or those shoes I've really wanted, or that vacation I really wanted. It is a happy sale. And as a coach, when you have a group, your one-on-ones become happy sales. I get to get a one-on-one. The narrative around it changes. The culture around it changes. The way you view it changes. The way they view it changes. It is an amazing place to be. And I'm so excited for the ladies that are going to be taking the journey. We're going to start their journey tonight with their group community coaching. And based off where they decide to go with the mastermind, I'm going to be helping them for the rest of June, all throughout July, and for the beginning of August, so that they can have a really comfortable place to be before the end of the year, before Thanksgiving, before Black Friday, and before Christmas. And they'll have this for the beginning of the year, because it is a long game. We're not just throwing something together. Okay. That's just not how I roll. Can't build no community in 30 days. I'm just telling you now. It ain't going to happen. Not, at least, I don't know. Maybe somebody else got a magic fix for that, but that's just not the way that I've seen it play out in real life. And you know, this really is not going to be for women who are trying to get consistent or trying to get their messaging right or trying to get people to see them and they're still battling with being seen at that level. This isn't going to be good for them. Okay. They probably need to go more into that pre-coach season that I talked about, which I think is key, where you start pre-coaching your audience through high level, high touch point education, high touch point community online. And then you start to sell them into what you have next. Okay. All right, friend. I got to get out here and work. I am so excited about tonight. I will see y'all on the mastermind for coaches, leaders, and speakers. We're going to get started at 7 Central Time, and then we'll be back next Tuesday night inside the Conquer Club, especially for the coaches that decide to start building their communities. Y'all will be able to join us this next Tuesday night inside the Conquer Club, where we're going to be doing a deep dive into the cookout versus classroom theory and framework that I have, and also the church framework we have, which is how to craft the perfect community offer. So everybody will be able to spell that out. So it's going to be fantastic, friend. So I'll see y'all tonight with the webinar and mastermind. There is still time to register. If you don't register, okay, make sure you follow us here on Facebook and definitely on YouTube, because maybe I'll get a chance to stream it to YouTube and or Facebook tonight too. So for the ladies that don't get a chance to register and you want to listen in, you'll be able to do that. But I encourage you to come get in the room. I encourage you to come network. We've already been networking inside the group chat. We have ladies from all over. We have one coach that's joining us from New Zealand. And I found that out because my stuff was only US capable. So it was a little kick in the good. But I was like, okay, God, I see you. That means I need to be ready for people to be able to join. But nonetheless, it's going to be a good time on Zoom tonight. You get a chance to get your questions answered around being a coach, especially if you've already been consistent, girl. This is for you. But y'all already know the vibes. We'll be back on the show tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central, noon for the East Coast girls. The show is wherever you scroll. Come get your daily dose, friend, of feeling confident and bold so that you can truly conquer this season of your life, okay? All right, I love you, friend. Y'all already know the vibes. When y'all wake up tomorrow, make sure y'all conquer.